close your eyes.
The penultimate race of Season 3. Only 11 points separate our top two drivers, Harmon and O'Brien, both who recently secured their first win of the season. So we are in for a treat tonight. It's going to be a fun one, but it is a slippery one. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Eliza Bethel alongside Pete Ruzick. Pete, how you doing tonight?
Eliza, I tell you, after last week in Nashville Super Speedway, I'm glad to be back. Glad to be back with you. Like you said, the second to last race of the season, one of my favorites. Glad I was able to actually add to the tweet that SnB sent out earlier this morning. I love this track and always have, Eliza. How are you? And welcome back from vacation.
Thank you. I'm doing great. It's so good to be back. I had a lot of fun on vacation, but yeah, I missed everyone. I missed being in the booth with you, so it's definitely good to be back, but it is going to be a slippery one tonight. These guys are still in practice. They're getting ready to go to qualifying, and I'll tell you what, you're going to see these guys drive the high line, try to get that speed and momentum up for their lap that they want to qualify in, but you're going to see these guys lose some grip out there, especially in dirty air once the race starts. So they definitely have a challenge tonight. We're going to see how they handle that, and with so much on the line, yeah, they're going to have to be super careful.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, during practice, I was watching guys run all kinds of different lines. I was watching Tom Harmon way up by the wall. I was watching JC, or Jarrett Cardwell, kind of like right in the middle. Watch some guys try to go really, really low and then allow them to open up the wheel coming off the corner so they weren't scrubbing too much speed. And I also heard a little bit about somebody was trying to shift going into the corners, trying to gain a little bit of extra. I don't know how well that worked for him, but hey, Eliza, you got to try everything at a place like this because, like you said, in that dirty air, the nose is gone from the car. That's when you really got to crank on that wheel, and when you got to do that, you're also shredding that tire. So the speeds, the draft, the handling of these cars, the temperatures, so much going into the second of the last race of the season.
Absolutely. And O'Brien, I mean, he's got a lot on the line for tonight. He sits second in points, and I can tell you that I just saw him in fourth gear up on the high side. I don't know if this is his out lap. It could be as he's trying to get up to speed. I don't think we're going to see a lot of guys run in fourth gear, but hey, they may surprise me, but we're going to have to keep our eye on Harmon, O'Brien, and Wisdom. These guys are just so incredibly close in points. Anything can happen, and we've had different championship winners for the last 2 seasons. I'm kind of curious, will we see a third different winner for this season?
Well, I'll tell you what, Andrew Wisdom sent out a tweet earlier saying he was slightly under the weather and doesn't think he's going to be able to make up a 19-point deficit. Eliza, with the track conditions the way they are, anybody, even Tom Harmon, can get loose and back it into the wall. You know, of course, I'm not wishing anything on anybody, but to your point, you know, it was Andrew Wisdom last season, and then it was Mr. Holzer, James Holzer, the season before. So I think we've got a chance. We've got a great three-way battle for that P1 spot. Just have to hope that the guy on top right now makes a mistake, although he doesn't typically do that too much.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at those points while we're still waiting for practice. Harmon, he is in the lead with 463. He just recently got his first one of the season. He says, I'm feeling good tonight. I have a great car. I just need to stay out of trouble. O'Brien, he won his first race last week with you, Pete.
Yep.
He's got 452 points and only one win also, so he's doing a great job. Wisdom, on the other hand, I do believe he has 6 wins. 4 were back-to-back wins. He sits third in points with 444. He is most definitely not out of the race for the championship, but it is going to be a little bit harder for him to make it happen. And he was last season's champion. Meanwhile, we have Jimmy Cocker. He's sitting fourth, 364 points, with Brody Falliker. We're still waiting, Pete. We've talked about this. He's going to get that win. It's going to happen. So we'll see what happens with him. He sits in fifth with 348 points, and Tom Flitcroft in sixth with 339.
Yeah, top 3, anything could really happen. And I tell you what, after Matt O'Brien got that W last week at Nashville Superspeedway, he immediately went over to X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it nowadays, and he said, my destiny is in my own hands. Every now and then he kind of talks a little bit down on himself. He's one of those drivers, kind of reminds me a little bit of Chase Elliott, where he's very, very hard on himself after a rough race, whether it's of his own doing or maybe he feels like he shouldn't have been in that situation in the first place. But last week, it was great to hear him positive. He felt a little recharged, and now he knows that he's got a great shot at this championship. And it'd be interesting to see the King's Old 43 come away with an SnB trophy.
You know, he always sits atop the speed charts in practice. He's got a 39.16 right now, which is very close to what Brendan Book is running. So these guys, very, very close in time. But O'Brien, he's always got the speed. We just got to keep him out of trouble and make sure strategy works through, and he will be good to go. But these guys are getting ready to go to qualifying, and we have a 90-lap race tonight. So plenty of time to either have a great race or, unfortunately, your race can go downhill very quickly. If you wreck here, it's going to be a severe damage considering how much speed you have, and you're going to fling up into that outside wall, or depending on how you get hit, you're going to go to the inside. So they will have to be very, very careful with how they run.
I definitely hope these drivers, or hopefully if they've got a spotter up in the stands, pay a little bit of attention to the weather or the track conditions between practice and now here at qualifying. Have to see how they are once we get to race. But during practice, the track sat about 111, 110 degrees. Right now it's up to 120 with an 84-degree air temp. So this track is going to be even slicker than it was in practice. Have to see who gets to the top of the boards.
Yeah, we could see some trouble just even at the start of the race. I mean, the first couple of laps can be so slippery. You are going to see drivers completely slideways, so we will have to watch that. You're not going to see any drivers really go underneath that first seam that you see on the bottom of the track in turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Some of them might take the middle line, some of them might take the high line, but even that is pretty slippery. So if you see that seam right down on the bottom of the track, that's where you're going to usually see these drivers take it as far as the race goes. And you can see Harmon bring it down to 4th gear as he's trying to finish out that lap there.
Yeah, I mentioned some people were trying to do a little bit of shifting there, so I have to see if he gets on that also, or if that was just a team thing or what. But so far, Tom Harmon to the top of the boards. Rivers Jones right now sitting possibly P2.
Ooh.
Matt O'Brien third. Jeff Byers and Micah Allard to round out the top five. Actually, Micah Allard not yet completing his hot lap.
Yeah, we're going to see what these guys can do, but Harmon is on top of the board with a 39.98, which is a lot slower than what we saw in practice, just simply because it takes several laps for these tires to get grip on them. So you're going to see a little bit slower lap times, but Wisdom, he was in first, goes into second as far as qualifying goes with a 39.89, and Harmon beats him out with an 83, and O'Brien beats both of them out with an 82. So extremely close times out here, which, you know what, that just makes me so excited for the race. You know, it's a drafty track. Dirty air is going to be a huge factor. So we're going to see some carnage. We're going to see some tight racing. It's going to be a fun time.
How about Matt Burgess and Rivers Jones putting up some pretty heated laps? Still, Andrew Wisdom looks like he was able to get back up top with his second lap. That was something that we saw quite a bit of last week at Nashville. Not something you normally expect from Michigan, but hey, maybe having to get a little bit of heat in the tires. And yeah, was able to get a second burner put up.
I agree. These guys are looking really good. Stacka says MIS is closest venue to Stacka, but have a love-hate relationship. I think that a lot of drivers feel the same, Stacka. It's a fun track, but it can get loose, and it's hard to maneuver around all the cars, especially when they're getting loose. So a lot of drivers love it, and a lot of drivers hate it. Snow Leopard, he says hello, and Chloe says good luck, drivers. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We do appreciate it, and we hope you're having a great one.
Boy, big thank you to Matty Joy fan. Says Pete did great last week. I definitely appreciate the vote of confidence. It was a whole lot of fun. You know, the first two seasons was great. This season, great being with you in the booth, Eliza. But yeah, Nashville Super Speedway last week definitely lent to a lot of great racing. I'm sure we're going to see the same thing here this evening.
Absolutely. And Pete, you always do an amazing job. He is terrific. Be sure to go to his channel. He does a lot of streaming, a lot of announcing. So go on over there, show him some love, give him a follow if you don't already. Be sure to tune in when he streams.
Definitely appreciate it.
Jordan McGraw out there, you can see him out on track, says he's got a Le Mans throwback. So looking really good out there. He said he also drove that one at Darlington.
Kind of digging that 34. It actually has a little bit of an Earnhardt vibe when father and son took on the 24. So if that's a Le Mans, I'll have to go and take a look at that car.
Absolutely. All right, we got Connor Cunningham out here in the 3 car. And I'll tell you what, there is a huge theme going on, and it is that these guys are completely sideways as they are trying to qualify. Qualifying is over, and you're going to see Wisdom sit on pole. O'Brien's going to be second, and Harmon will be third. And let's go ahead and get this over here for the grid. But man, oh man, it is going to be a wild one. I'm excited. Let's get this thing moving. Andrew Wisdom in that 51 machine, looking to make number 7 tonight. He sits on pole with his teammate Matthew O'Brien on his outside. In row 2, we have Thomas Harmon in the 68 with Matt Burgess on his outside. Row 3 is going to be Jimmy Cocker in the 11 car with Brennan Book in that 5. And row 4 is going to be Micah in that 61 machine with Luke Allen in that 7. And row 5 is going to be Stephen Maggio in the 19 with Tom Flitcroft on his outside.
Yeah, Philip Bridgman in that number 9, sitting P11 and around out the top 12. We got the one we were just talking about, Jordan McGraw in that team FTR number 34. Starting 13th, going to be John Honeycutt in his High-Tech Securities number 50. Rivers Jones in his 91, sitting 14th. 15th, it's going to be Jeff Byers in that 333, and to his outside, Andrew Sanford in the 37. 17th, going to be Austin Mitty in the double deuce with Kevin Dallator in the 92 to round out row 9. Row 10 looks like Jarrett Cardwell in the deuce with Connor Cunningham in the 3 we're just watching in qualifying.
Row 11 is going to be Jacob Palmer in that 39 car with Francis Hamilton on his outside. And row 12 is going to be Brody Falliker in that 1 machine with Dylan C. Robb on his outside. In looks like 25th is going to be Brian Pizzichimi, which I always say this, he does not qualify. He chooses to start in the back, and he really does a great job of making it through the field. So I'm excited to see what he can do tonight as he starts in 25th.
But how about it? Teammates, again, getting it done. Talking about Andrew Wisdom on the pole. Again, I mentioned earlier, he sent out a tweet, doesn't think he can make up the 19 points, said he was feeling a little under the weather. Well, maybe feeling under the weather helped him gain a little bit more focus on how he had to drive that number 51 Busch beer machine. We'll have to see as the race unfolds.
Absolutely. He's just had a terrific season. I'm a little surprised with how many wins he's got, Pete, that he sits in third. I mean, it's absolutely incredible that he's been able to capture so many wins and so many back-to-back. So we'll see what he does here at Michigan. We know he's good at road courses. He's proven he's good at ovals. I want to see what he can do at Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan, again, it's been a favorite of mine going way, way, way back to the console days. So I have to see how he can tackle this place. If he likes, road courses and whatnot, as we've all seen him excel at those, maybe next week for the championship race at Homestead Miami Speedway, maybe we'll be able to go ahead and grab that lucky number 7th win and see how his season plays out. Whether he can gain the points or not, it doesn't matter. He's had a championship caliber season all season long.
Absolutely. As we said, we got to keep an eye on these guys at the start. It can get extremely loose. We'll see how they can maneuver around, but I'll tell you what, you're going to hear those tires squealing. You're going to see them being slideways. So let's knock on wood for these drivers as they get ready to go for 90 laps at Michigan International Speedway.
90 laps waiting on Barney the Flagman to drop that green. 51's going to be the first one on that loud pedal with his teammate to his outside, Tom Harmon, Matt Burgess, and Jimmy Cocker to round out the top 5. Green flag's out. Let's go.
Green flag is out. Andrew Wisdom with a nice lead. He's got his teammate 43 on that outside. He's got Thomas Harmon directly behind him. We see Brendan Book going to the outside along with his teammate Tom Flitcroft. 3 wide already, and that's going to be about for 8th spot. So these guys running very, very close.
Yeah, decided wisely to back it down to double wide. You see the 11 for Jimmy Cocker right to the inside of the 12. The 68 Avril Lavigne Camaro down on bottom with the 43 to his outside. Talking about that Dollar Tree machine out there. And it looks like Jimmy Cocker's going to try to dive it in, maybe take it 3. He doesn't quite have the room. Back double file.
Amazing move from some of these drivers, but Andrew Wisdom already getting away as these guys are battling it out. Absolutely incredible. 2 and 3 wide all the way through. Some contact between Harmon and Cocker, but they are still off and running 4 wide, and that's going to be for 3rd place as they struggle to try to keep the car underneath them.
I am very, very surprised coming off of 1 and 2, how fast that wall comes up, that they were able to get back double file or stay 3, but their spotters had to be screaming 3 wide.
Absolutely. These guys are already so wild. We're on board with Micah currently. Let's take a look behind him at the chaos that is going on. 2, 3, and we saw 4 wide earlier. Maddie says 4 wide. I'm with you. I am with you. But these guys, this is what you can do at Michigan. It's close, it's tight, and it can be chaotic.
So look, now I can't even talk. Back to double wide. Oh, I was like, yeah, no. The 9 trying to dive to the inside right in front of the 50 of John Honeycutt. You see the 5 of Brendan Book. There's the 91 of Rivers Jones also. 12 up on the high side, and here comes that 7. Again, Luke Allen, he's fallen back a little bit, but it looks like he's found a good spot to try to advance his way on through as Jordan McGraw dives underneath him.
New leader, and my oh my, what a battle it was. But Jimmy Cocker dives it down low and takes over that lead as Tom Harmon and Andrew Wisdom were just going side by side, making some contact. And Jimmy Cocker, he is your new leader.
Yeah, Jimmy Cocker in that Virginia Tech number 11. Kind of threw me off in the beginning of the season. For the first 2, he ran to 31. Got used to calling him by that. But look at Tom Harmon up 1 spot to P2. And this guy's been digging all season long. Matty Joy says, Pete got too excited. You know what, Matty Joy? I absolutely love what I do, and it's easy to be excited when you're having a great time. So I definitely appreciate that.
It is so true. These races can be so exciting, so fun to watch. Penguin, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. And right now, believe it or not, even though it's like 100 degrees here, I do have some frozen toast. It's true. Take a look at Jimmy Cocker, though. He's having a great run, up 4 spots from where he started. Takes it out to the lead. He's just going to have to try to hang out there as long as he can. That clean air is going to be huge for him as he has these drivers battling for position behind him. He's got to take advantage for as long as he can, Pete.
Oh, absolutely. And we were talking to the 43 of Matt O'Brien before the race started, and he was pointing out just that. If you get tucked up behind somebody coming off of the corner, you will completely lose the nose of the car, and usually that means that you're going to find a little bit of contact with the wall. That's why you see the 11, he's up in that third groove, and the 68 is being forced down to the next groove lower to try to get just a little bit of clean air so he's not having to work those front tires too hard.
Absolutely. And meanwhile, we're on board with Matthew O'Brien, who is not having a good time right now. He has fallen back severely, 16 spots from where he started, sitting P18. You see the guys taking him 3 and 4 wide to get around. Not sure what kind of issues he's having, but he is not having fun.
No, he's not. And he was very, very fast in practice. You pointed that out earlier. He might be just trying to save a little bit. You know what? The old saying, you go ahead, I'll see you later. He's very, very good on the long run. He's kind of he is competitive with Andrew Wisdom and Tom Harmon and all the other guys that are great at saving tire. And hey, might be trying to save a little bit of fuel earlier.
Absolutely. John, I see you out there. Yes, Michigan. I know you like Michigan, and it's such a fan favorite for so many people. And drivers, like I said earlier, they either love it or hate it. And John Honeycutt making some contact with the driver ahead of him on his outside, I should say. So a little bit of contact there, but they are still off and moving. That was with the 91 of Rivers Jones. But man, just take a look at how tight this racing is. 3 wide once again. We've seen 4 tonight, and that is not over. We're going to see more of that.
Yeah, John Honeycutt able to slide up right in front of the 19. So far, he's up 6 spots. We saw him pick up 2 in turns 3 and 4 alone. Now as he dives down into 1 and 2, boy, way up on the 91's door. That target machine had a big old target on the side of it for just a moment, but they're both catching up to the 12 of Matt Burgess.
Wow, these guys are just so crazy, so incredibly close. We have a new leader also, Pete. It's going to be Thomas Harmon. He has made his way past Jimmy Cocker, doing a great job. But man, Jimmy is all over his back bumper, putting the pressure on him. He's looking solid out there, but these guys are starting to put a little bit of a gap over third. But Micah, he's not going to stay back there too long. That draft is going to help set him up. You can see him trying to stay in that clean air around the corners. That's exactly what you need to do to make up time and get that momentum.
Absolutely, Jimmy Cocker was all over the back end of that number 68 Avril Lavigne Camaro for Tom Harmon, really pushing him down into turns 1 and 2 after the backstretch in turns 3 and 4. Again, 61 way down low, almost getting his left side tires below that yellow, as 68 looks like he has a little bit of an issue getting tight, and that's going to allow the 11 to go on by, retake the lead.
Yeah, look at these guys. You're going to see a lot of this. It's Michigan. You're going to see switching positions. You're going to see lead changes every couple of laps, if not more. And Jimmy Cocker says, not so fast. I'm getting back here. He is looking for his first win also. So a couple of new drivers that are trying to get their first one of the season. We only have 1 race left. The next race is going to be Homestead. We crown a champion, a trophy will be given. And we'll see, are we going to have a repeat winner or are we going to have a new one?
Well, I definitely have to see. I mean, right now, Tom Harmon, he's been very, very strong all season long as he's running up front yet again. This race looks like 91 now. I'm sorry, that's actually the no, it is the 91 all over the back end of that 68. Micah's still down low. Kind of interesting to see Micah run that low, knowing how easy it is to just get snapped loose. And now it looks like John Honeycutt's with him as well as the 7.
On board with Thomas Harmon, and he is still making his way up to the front. You're going to see these guys ride that first seam. We talked about it earlier, and he's going to bring it up high a little bit. You can see he's got to correct it as he's getting a little fishtail, but he is off and moving in that tri-oval as we head to lap 13 of 90.
Yeah, 90 laps on store for this evening here from Michigan. So it's just really getting started. We're not going to see a long, train of coming around the bend this evening. We're going to see a lot of great 2, 3, and possibly, yes, we've seen it, 4-wide racing here at Michigan. So definitely want to stay tuned. If you haven't already, though, please go on over, check out WoodyxCA on Twitch. He's the sponsor all season long here of the Shake and Bake iRacing Cup Series that you're catching this evening. And don't forget, one more race next week at Homestead Miami Speedway. You're not going to want to miss any of the action.
Absolutely. You guys in chat, oh man, yeah, Virginia Tech, Hokies, let's see, what else you guys talking about? 190 to 200. It's going to be very, very close. These guys, especially in draft, are absolutely flying, and they will have to watch that tire wear. Those rear tires will feel that wear, and it will slip loose. So they're going to have to watch the grip. I think we're going to see 2 stopper tonight, and we do have our first caution, lap 14. Let's see if we can find out what happened here.
Yeah, so far I haven't been given any information on what the caution is for, but wow, what a great first 14 laps, completely action-packed. But you can bet everybody's going to come on down pit road.
A little bit of contact. I'm trying to see who that was with. Some contact coming around the corner with the 8 machine, and that looks like Brian Pizzakemi. He saves it, but unfortunately a car dives off into the inside wall, and that's going to bring out the caution.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that it happened off track, way down on the apron, close to the wall, but still iRacing decided to go ahead and throw the yellow. So yeah, caution number 1, working lap 15, coming to lap 16. But again, Eliza, everybody will be down pit road for 4 brand new Eagle Fuel Goods and top it off with fuel.
Absolutely. We'll see who goes in. It's so close. We have 90 laps. A lot of drivers were talking about making a 2-stop. So I think we're going to see most of these guys come on down. You might see a couple of guys try to stay out and get that bonus point for leading a lap. We'll see who plays strategy here.
All right, so far everybody's up behind that iRacing pace truck. Looks like the 11 is going to lead everybody down. So far, all the way back to Jordan McGraw, the 8 of Tom Flitcroft, and many others. Everybody looks like they're coming to the pits.
Kind of curious to see what kind of tire wear these drivers were having. That's going to put these guys on fresh tires on a restart. Another thing that you don't hear a lot of people talk about is the difference of worn tires compared to fresh ones, and how it can kind of surprise a driver when you go back to a restart. It can be very, very slippery. These tires are cold, and they are going to have to watch the first couple of corners and make sure that they can get all the grip they can so they're not losing their car underneath them.
All right, so it looks like, I want to say that was going to be Tom Harmon. No, it was actually Jimmy Cocker that leads the field off of pit road. Micah Allard P2, Luke Allen, Steve Maggio up 5 spots so far this evening, and then John Honeycutt to round out the top 5.
All right, we're going to get Jimmy Cocker on board here. It's Eliza. How you doing out there?
Doing well. I can see open racetrack.
Right? Clean air. It's going well for you. How's your car feeling, and what kind of strategy are you thinking for tonight?
It's feeling pretty good so far. I mean, me and the 68 are having a nice little battle up here, but for the most part, we're trying to help each other, not really race around and door each other. I kind of did that at the very beginning. But no, car feels good. Just need to keep it a little more clean.
Absolutely. Well, I know you're looking for your first win tonight. I really hope you get it. I would love to see you out here in victory lane. So just a ton of luck to you. You're looking great out there. Go get it.
Thank you. Go Hokies.
All right, you heard it from Jimmy there.
It's kind of interesting, he opened up season 1 with a win at Daytona. He was a multi-time winner last season. he's got 2 more chances this week and next week to make sure that he can stay in the SnB books for having a win every season that Shake and Baker's run here on iRacing.
You know, and he's sitting great in points. He's P4, but his shot at the championship at this point, I think, is very, very slim. But man, such a great season. I'm super proud of him, and yeah, I'm excited to see what he can do tonight. He's got the speed. Now let's see if we can get a win.
And he's got his teammate in Luke Allen in that Mountain Dew number 7. We've been talking about him every single week, it seems, as one of those drivers that just keeps getting better and better as the seasons run along. First to second, now second to third, and even as season 3 has progressed. That 7 has gotten stronger and stronger. Just Team FIWB, they got a couple teams, but they run pretty deep.
Absolutely. I mean, they have such a strong team, and the improvements that we've seen with these drivers are just absolutely incredible. So fun to watch. So proud of all of them. So it's really cool to see the teammates side by side working together. And you heard him. He's been working with other drivers. You don't want to ruin your car. You don't want to ruin your chance or anyone else's chance at a win or a great race. So it's good to see these guys hanging out together and doing a great job.
Absolutely. Pace Truck has gone ahead and pulled off 11, 7, 19, 50, 68, 12. Top 6. Let's go racing.
Here they go. Back to green. Jimmy with a great start. We're going to have Luke Allen on that outside. And then 19 of Steven Maggio sitting P3 with John Honeycutt. He's going to be in the top 4 with Thomas Harmon directly below him. So these guys, we're back to 2 wide. I think we're going to see 3 and 4 very shortly.
Absolutely great run so far for John Honeycutt. He was saying in practice he was going to take this win this evening. I'd actually like to see that. He's going to go ahead and dive it in front of the 19 of Maggio, trying to get underneath the 7. Eliza, no loose riding for that 50 as he kind of disappears for just a moment. Have to see where he reappears, but looks like Honeycutt having some connectivity issues.
Yeah, a little bit of trouble mid-pack here. It looks like I'm trying to see who that is. That is going to be Matt Burgess in that 12 machine. Got loose and somehow managed to save it. Brendan Book fell back from that. I don't know if there was a little contact between the two, but they are still off and running. And these guys, you can see, getting very, very squirrely and a lot loose.
Yeah, it looks like John Honeycutt's issue just got worse. Not quite sure if he has lagged out or not. It's still showing him in the server. Not 100% sure. But how about the guy that's moved up or made the most amount of progress so far? Eliza up 19 spots. My buddy and my pick for this evening, Brody Falliker in that number 1 Camaro for Team FIWB P4. Again, 19 spots up on the move, and it's mostly under green flag.
Absolutely. He's just such a phenomenal driver. I'm loving his new paint scheme. I see that, and he's doing a great job out here. We're still waiting for him to get that win. It is definitely happening. Man, the improvements, again, are just remarkable. And 19 spots. How about that? But Honeycutt, I feel so terrible for him. Technology. You have John saying technology happens. It happens way too much for John Honeycutt. He had a rough start to the season, and once he started getting going and having some good races, then he started lagging out of all these lobbies. So unfortunate, and that's going to put him some laps down here.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate for John Honeycutt. But how about going back to FIWB, and I don't mean to beat the dead horse, but 4 out of the top 5 drivers right now are Team FIWB. You got the 19 of Mr. Maggio in between, and here comes the 68 of Tom Harmon trying to get right back into the mix, maybe ruin a little bit of this FIWB parade. But first and second, very, very fast cars, as it looks like Luke Allen's going to be able to go ahead and take the lead a point. Another one going that way.
He sure does. And we talk about all these improvements. Luke Allen is another one. He has just been throwing that car up into the front of the field, just making his name known, making his presence felt, and just doing a fantastic job. And he's going to come out here and lead, hopefully, several laps. But man, oh man, great for him. I love to see it. These guys are nose to tail for the first 4 drivers. And then Brody Falliker, he's going to be right up there, getting back in between him and Thomas Harmon, not too far behind.
These guys were bump drafting going into turns 1 and 2, Eliza. The one car, Brody Falliker says, nah, I don't want any of that dirty air. Get me out of that mess. Right now sits P5, 91 right ahead. Looks like actually Rivers Jones in that 91. The man just went SnB purple, posting the fastest lap of the race so far, 39.73. A good 4 or so, just about a half a tenth faster than anybody else so far this evening.
I love his profile, says blocks like worse Joey Logano. How about that? Doing a great job sitting 4th, up 10 spots. And then, as we said, Brody Falliker up 18 spots. So great job for these drivers. Luke Allen still leading the field, up 7 spots from where he started. Great job. Kerblam, I see you out there. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, aside from those guys, Austin Mitty right now sitting back in P8. He's up 9 spots so far in that double deuce Ford Mustang. So Austin also showing quite a bit of progress. Jeff Byers, he's up 6, now 7 spots in that triple three. Jacob Palmer, a little bit further back, sitting about P14. He's up 7. So some guys definitely working their way through the field as we work lap 25 out of 90. Michigan never disappoints.
It never does. The racing is tight, but I'll tell you what, I will say it again. Some drivers love it. Some drivers hate it. Partly the reason is for that dirty air. We've seen a couple of drivers get loose and lose it off the exits just simply from the dirty air and the drafting. You know, sometimes you can keep those drivers so close together just due to the drafting. And how about this battle up here for the lead? Jimmy Cocker and Luke Allen just swerving Irvins up here. I don't know if they got loose or what, but man, oh man, that looked like quite the ride for them.
Yeah, going down the, well, what's supposed to be the front stretch anyway. This track shaped like a big letter D. But yeah, the 7 come off 4, went all the way down to the bottom, tried to break the draft from the 11 as you were talking about that. But no, the 11 of Jimmy Cocker, he went all the way down to the bottom as well. And still the 91 of Rivers Jones, Steve Maggio, Brody Falliker to round out the top 5. Right now, Tom Harmon, he's back to 6th, down 3 spots from where he qualified, but by no way out.
Absolutely. We're on board. Luke Allen taking a look at what's going on behind him. A long line of cars just trying to make anything happen. Rivers Jones looks like his car got a little upset coming out of the corner, and you see a car dive way down low back there. I don't know who that was, but let's see if we can take a look. Possibly Philip Bridgman, not sure, but whoever it was, they are back on track, still moving. And John Honeycutt, I'm looking, he is still not on track. Tom Flitcroft, he is way off pace, down 14 spots. I don't see any damage on Tom Flitcroft, but he is definitely off pace and sitting in 24th.
Yeah, Tom Flitcroft, as I was watching practice earlier, he was having to really fight the stability of the car. This very patriotic number 8 Bud machine. That Camaro is usually very, very fast. I know that he's a big fan of Michigan. Got a little squirrely right there trying to save it off of 2. That car just looks very evil for Tom.
Absolutely. And you guys were talking about probably going to crash. I knew as soon as what you said, John, saying probably going to crash, that was Tom Flitcroft. Some of these guys have some funny sayings in their driver details. So a lot of fun to watch him out here. But Jimmy Cocker back out to the lead. Luke Allen in 2nd. Brody Falliker sitting 3rd so far, and we're gonna have Rivers Jones in 4th, up 10 spots. Brody Falliker up 20 spots from where he started. We have Steven in that 19 machine sitting top 5.
Brody Falliker looking underneath his Team FIWB teammate, trying to put that number 7 back to P3. 7 kind of pinching Brody Falliker down just a little bit. Had to open it up, though, to make sure that he didn't tag that wall. 91 right with him, door to door. Right now, Jimmy Cocker's got to love what he sees, because the more they fight, the more he can scoot away.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, these guys, if they keep going back and forth, Jimmy Cocker will be able to put quite a gap over these guys. But so far, just under 2 tenths, these guys are sitting behind Luke Allen. Going to be in third currently, but man, looking so good. Brody Falliker in second. So extremely close, but a long train, Pete. We have a long train of cars.
Absolutely. Looking right now at the 51 of Andrew Wisdom back in P7. He's got the 333 Pantera machine of Jeff Byers, and he's got the 91 of Rivers Jones just ahead. The 91, he's been putting down some pretty fast laps, so the 51 should be able to keep pace with them right now. Looks like Tom Harmon's looking underneath Steve Maggio.
John, yes, F1 is on Wednesdays. I was on vacation last week, so we had a break for F1, and then Pete did the SnB Cup Series last week for us. So he did a great job, of course. Jimmy Cocker still in the lead here. Brody not letting him get away. And how about this battle for third? It's going to be Luke Allen, and he's got some company directly next to him. That's going to be Steven, a newer driver to SnB. He sits 5 spots up from where he started. And then you got Thomas Harmon right in the mix, Pete.
Yeah, Tom Harmon still looking for lines where he gets a little bit of clean air on the hood of that Camaro. But now the 19 underneath the 7. I wonder if the 7, as hard as he was charging to get up there and lead and then stay in the lead, or trying to keep in front of the 11 of Jimmy Cocker, I wonder if maybe he abused that right front just a little bit. So now he's side by side with the 19 right underneath. Steve Maggio getting a little close to that left rear for the 7, but able to find a gap right in front of the 68. Top 5 nose to tail.
Just a little bit. You see these guys trying to keep that clean air by taking a different line than the driver ahead of them. Some of them following each other, but you're going to see these guys fighting for any piece of clean air that they can get. So we'll see what they can do. But man, oh man, here they come down the backstretch heading into turn 3 and 4. And we have a couple of groups out here, some different packs, and a couple of guys that are out here solo on their little island.
Yeah, we were talking about the 43 of Matt O'Brien earlier and how far back he had fallen. Well, right now it looks like he's worked his way back up to P8. 51 and 68, they're nose to tail. The 5 of Brendan Bookman's got the 43 who's outside. It's the 333 machine and the 43 make a little bit of contact. That's going to take a little bit of the sail, or the little bit of the wind out of the sail for the 43 right there. 7's going to get a little loose. Man, there's something going on everywhere here, Eliza.
The action is nonstop. I mean, it's Michigan. It's so incredibly close. And John says, you think these cars are fast here? Try Indy cars. And you know what? One of my teammates, Jordan, he was saying, why can't we take this out with the Indy car? He loves the series, and it would definitely be insane. Papa Bear says, good race so far. They are starting to get loose, and you said it perfectly, Papa Bear. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you so much. But yeah, it's loose, it's fast, and it's tight racing.
I got to give a big old shout out to the one and only Mike Papa Bear Campbell. He actually has run the Turn Down for What iRacing community for several years. They started off on console, now over on iRacing. His league, Eliza, is qualifying room, or you might as well just say standing room only. One hell of a leader, both on track, off track, and within the community. He's a great guy, great friend to know as well.
Absolutely. It's so good to see his league doing so well, and yeah, he is packed, absolutely. But if you guys can, Pete does all the announcing for him. Go out there like, ooh, we have a guy getting loose out there. That is going to be Steven. He's going to fall hard, but he manages to save it. Great save by him. But Brody Falliker leading this field, Pete.
Yeah, Brody Falliker getting that point in that scheme that you love so much. And he's got a decent little gap over the 68. But Tom Harmon right now just might be saying, here, kitty, kitty, kitty. But that one's going to go ahead and get that point. Tom Harmon right now leading the points. Not too far off. Might be leading the race yet again as well.
Like I said, I mean, he's got a lot of confidence here. He just said, I need to stay out of trouble and I'll be fine. I like my car here. I love Michigan. So I think as long as he can stay out of trouble, he'll be good to go. He is in the points lead by 11 points. Next up would be Matthew O'Brien, and he's currently sitting P5, trying to battle for that 4th spot, which he currently has taken.
Yeah, he's got the 91 to his outside and just able to stay in that throttle, open up the wheel, drive up and off the corner. It looks like the 11 of Jimmy Cocker's right there as well with the 7 to his outside. Brendan Book now also down 2 spots, sitting P8 from where he qualified. He's in the mix. Elias, we got a little bit of a hornet's nest back here.
We have a hornet's nest, and in the meantime, we have Thomas Harmon taking over that lead over Brody Falliger. So Brody's going to fall back in 2nd, Andrew Wisdom in 3rd, and it looks like Wisdom is going to try to take over that 2nd spot. He's got a little bit of a nose out. Now, can he have that momentum to make it stick? And it looks like he might be able to do it, Pete.
Yeah, he's going to be able to slide up right in front of that one of Brody Falliger. But this is something that the 51 and the 43 do not want to see. They don't want to see Tom Harmon up, leading laps, possibly leading most laps. We still have plenty of room in this race. Again, the 51 didn't think he was going to be able to make up that 19-point deficit. Matt O'Brien, he's sitting P2, also within striking distance of the leader. But with this 68 Avril Lavigne Camaro for Tom Harmon, they did not want to see him up there. Caution 2
Trouble
is going
for
to fly.
Wivers Jones. Yeah, we saw him get loose. Let's go back. See if we can find a replay of it. We'll rewind that a little bit. A little bit of contact between him and Brendan Book. You can see gets him loose right there. He tries to correct it, and man, it's right around the corner. He loses it. Hopefully minimal damage for him. He's had a great run tonight. Get that repaired, get back out on track, but great job trying to keep it off the wall.
That target dog on the side, he's still smiling. I think he's okay.
I think so too. He did good.
Yeah.
He did good. So easy here to make contact though, Pete.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's Michigan. Man. John says target car became a huge target. Absolutely. Chloe, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you later. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We're under our 2nd caution of the night. Lap 40 of 90. I'm curious. I'll let these guys see if they go into pit. What are you going to do, P? If you're out here, you've gone in, I think it was around lap 15 or so. Are you going in right now?
Oh, absolutely. If everybody went down, screaming for 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods on lap 15, coming out 16, they're going to want the same for 40 into 41. No doubt in my mind, everybody. 4 brand new tires, top it off yet again. Then this is, if we had gone green, this would have been right about the time where everybody would have come down for new tires anyway. Mentioned just about 40 laps earlier, give or take, at the beginning of the stream. Well, here we are.
Here we are, and Tom Harmon going to lead the field into pit road here. We have Andrew Wisdom behind him. We'll see how these guys come out, but remember, Thomas Harmon, he's going for a championship here. He just got his first win of the season, and already this guy is looking at a championship trophy here next week. He's going to have to perform well and make sure he keeps O'Brien and Wisdom behind him. But it's going to be close. This battle for the championship is extremely tight.
Big shout out there to John B. Marine. Says it's his brother's birthday. In my family, I'm little sibling saluting big sibling. Sounds like a very patriotic military family to me. And as a veteran of the United States Air Force Security Forces, I salute your brother as well. Take care of my brother.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday. And thank you so much for your service, for all you guys. Freedom, man. You guys put everything on the line for it, and it's just so appreciated.
All right. So Tom Harmon able to hold the lead. Let's talk to him.
Yeah, Thomas Harmon, he's in the booth here. How's it going? It's Eliza.
It's going. I think I see a storm cloud over in 3 and 4. I may as well just end it now.
He wants to end it. I know you were talking like you said you had a good car for tonight. You just had to stay out of trouble. How's that going so far?
Well, I don't know. I've made a couple contacts, but I don't know if my fault, their fault, meet in the middle. Hell, I don't know. But yeah, this is. I'm happy where I'm at. I just hope to stay here.
Dirty air. How's it affecting the car tonight?
Uh, it makes it a little bit tighter, but it's not that bad really. It kind of helps because the car is loose with air on the nose, so it just gets more and more loose over a run, and the dirtier air seems to help.
Fair enough. Well, you're out here fighting for a championship in the league currently, so I wish you a ton of luck for tonight. Hopefully you can get that thing in victory lane once again. You did it already. Let's do it again.
Thank you.
All right, you heard it from Thomas Harmon. Man, he's having a great run. The position changes for the lead are insane, though, Pete. I'm going to put you on the spot. We do it to each other every single week. Who do you see winning tonight?
I got to pull for my buddy in the one. Brody Falliker, week in and week out, he's very, very fast. He missed a couple weeks ago, which made him take a little bit of a tumble in the points. But he can't be denied forever. And he's showing it yet again this evening how he's up 18 spots. At one point, he was up 20, even a little bit more than that as he led a couple laps here from Michigan. I got to go with the one. Eliza, who you got?
Oh, man, you know, I love Brody. I think he's going to be in the winner's booth, but tonight I got to pull for Harmon. I want to see if he can get number 2 here. It's going to be close, though. I do want to see a close battle, but, man, it would be cool to see Harmon get another win.
It could absolutely be interesting to see him get another win. Well, one thing he did get right there, Eliza, was a huge jump as we go back. Green pounding on that go pedal, and he's got a good car length right now over both the 51 and the 43 teammates side by side going into one.
You know, he did have a great start, but sometimes is that really what you want to see? Because that just lets these guys just kind of gang up on you. You're sitting duck, and once these guys get that draft and they get moving, sometimes they're just going to overtake you pretty quick. But he looks to be sitting pretty solid. We have a 2-wide battle with Brody and O'Brien directly behind. So these guys are definitely on the move. Andrew Wisdom sitting in second, and John B says it's my biological father. So a huge thank you to him. He said he served, let me see that, served in the Vietnam War.
There you go. All right, battle. Looks like Brody Fowler's going to be able to take it underneath the number 1. But yeah, Eliza, what you were talking about as far as not wanting to get too far out, if we were at a place like Daytona, Talladega, something like that, you would be 100% spot on. While there is a great draft here, I don't think it's as much of a factor as the one tries to take it up in that third line. Not going to have much back in the dirty air of the 68, but that dirty air is what breaks that big old draft. One looking low.
A little bit of trouble for McGraw back. They were just on board with him. We saw him dive really low, got a little loose. He managed to hold on to it, bring it back up into the track. So great job for McGraw out there as he tries to get that machine moving. Running currently 18th. And Brody Falliker, he's going to be back in the lead. Thomas Harmon directly behind. Andrew Wisdom sits third.
I think Tom Harmon literally just let him go. I mean, the one really squeezed up. They almost got a little too close to the 61's front end for comfort, but the 61 checked up just a moment. One able to take the spot. Andrew Wisdom, P3. O'Brien, P4. Steve Maggio, P5. But right around where you just were with Jordan McGraw and others, Eliza, they are 2 and 3 wide.
They are most definitely 2 and 3 wide. How about that? Take a look, 3 wide right there. It looked like they were trying to go 4 wide. Thought better of it. These guys still on the move, a couple of packs, but man, oh man, Jordan McGraw going way, way low. Not sure what that was, if it's going for position or what, but man, these guys are all over each other.
I think Jordan McGraw did not like something he saw right in front, said, I'm not getting wrapped up in this. He's going to end up double wide with the 333 Pantera machine for Mr. Byers. Mr. Book right ahead. And how about Top the Crop up in that 8? He was way, way back earlier. Right now, it looks like he is, oh boy, he's P15 after starting 10th on the evening.
Yeah, P15. So he's making up some spots, still down 5 from where he started, but he's getting back up there. These cautions have helped him out a little bit, and his teammate Brendan, He's going to help him with a little bit of a nudge as he takes it down low. And I haven't seen too many drivers take it down to the yellow. They usually stay above that first seam. It gets pretty loose down there. We'll see. But Jeff Byers getting a little loose as he makes some contact behind. Manages to hold on to it.
Yeah, Andrew Sanford, too, is outside. Then you got 39 of Jacob Palmer. Oh, that 37 all over the back end of Mr. McGraw. 3 wide right behind him.
Yeah, these guys, you would think they're going for the win right here. So incredibly close, making me nervous, but that's Michigan for you. A little bit of contact, Jeff Byers and Mr. Palmer. So incredibly close. Byers going to be right behind that 34 of Jordan McGraw repping Texas out there. You know it. But, man, take a look. Jeff Byers just so incredibly close, Pete.
Yeah, Jeff Byers, he made it 3 wide just a moment ago. Now he's all over the back end of the 39 for Jacob Palmer. Now you got Mr. Sanford there yet again. And behind these guys, Kevin Daltor in that 92 and Dylan Roth just watching all this go on. He's got to be hoping, guys, please, please, please don't mix it up too much. I don't want to be collected.
Sanford taking it way down low. It's going to be 3 wide right here. This is just a hornet's nest, as you mentioned earlier. These drivers on top of each other, perhaps getting a little frustrated. They know it's coming to lap 50 of 90. There's not a lot of time to make some moves. It's hard to get anywhere at Michigan simply because it's so drafted and there's so many cars out there. You have to be strategic on how you make those moves. You don't want to kill your car. But I think we're seeing a little bit of frustration, Pete.
Yeah, and there's really nowhere that you can go to get away from that double and triple wide. These spotters got to be yelling, three wide bottom, 3 wide middle, 3 wide top, hold your line. It's got to be constant communication. But right now, the 8 of Tom Fleetcroft in front of the triple 3. Jacob Palmer right ahead of the outside of the 34. They're 3 deep between the 39-9 and the 12 A&W machine. Good to see him about mid-pack also, although I'm sure he'd rather be further up.
Absolutely. Racer Rec, I see you out there. Thank you for tuning in. John says, I like that fiery number 333. That's going to be Jeff Byers, and man, he brings that fiery car every single week. We've seen him up front a lot of races tonight. We'll see if he can make it back up there. He started, looks like 15th, so down 2 spots as he sits 17th.
Yeah, sitting behind that number 12 from Matt Burgess. Matt Burgess, now he's going to be able to slot up right behind the 9 of Philip Bridgman. Brendan Book, though, down 9, sitting P15, hasn't really been able to make up a whole lot of ground. Brendan had a pretty good race last week in Nashville. I'm sure he'd love to be able to keep that momentum rolling as we've only got one more race this season, but this tonight is far from over.
I know. I don't know where this season has gone, but Bernie Falliker, he is trying to make the best of it, and he is out here leading the field once again. Thomas Harmon is going to be almost half a second back, and that just goes to show you, even almost half a second back, that's how close they are. But take a look at the gap from Harmon to Wisdom, who sits currently 3rd. That's a crazy gap. These guys, if they keep battling, they're going to get away. They're going to have to help each other make their way away from this field.
Well, that 19 was absolutely helping that 51 all the way into the corner. Was not letting go much at all. Mike Allard underneath him. And it looks like one of those cars, well, not quite the King's colors, but one of those cars got a little loose. That was going to be the 48, rather. And it looks like 19, 43, 61. A little bit of a battle here. 19's going to take it up. Nope, going to slot back in behind that 51. They're double wide. And as long as this happens, Tom Harmon and Brody Falliker will continue to drive away.
On board with Francis Hamilton. It looked like he got loose or trying to avoid some chaos throughout the corner, so he has lost several spots now. You can see them going on that high side. You see Jeff Byers going there in the 2 car on the move, but man, he's going to have to get back on that throttle and try to make up some time here.
Yeah, something tells me down on that bottom line is not within his comfort zone. As caution number 3 is going to apply.
It's like Dylan C. Rob involved. Let's take a look. Just chaos from every direction. Let's see if we can find out what that is. Trying to rewind that a little bit.
Yeah,
Nothing
one car
going on here.
disappeared. Doesn't look like he was quite sure where to go. And yeah, ended up down on the apron.
Possibly Francis. No, not Francis. That Wendy's machine out there getting loose, and then you see Dylan just lose it right there, trying to avoid the chaos, and that's going to bring out the caution here tonight. Third one, I do believe. Third or fourth? Yeah, third caution.
Yep, third. It's kind of interesting. The 03 didn't loop it around until it was very, very late, trying to save it. So good job by him. Brody Falliker leading, though, as you said, behind that iRacing pace truck. It'll be interesting to see. Caution number 1, they came down after about 15 laps. Well, that was another 15 laps worth of racing. Do they come down for a... Would this be their last set of tires, Eliza? Or do they have one more in the bank?
Well, they have 4 sets, so they should be okay as far as that goes, but they're going to have to be careful on if we get another caution, they may want to hold on to it.
Absolutely. So yeah, long train to come in. Everybody down pit road. It looks like Jordan McGraw. He's going to go ahead and stay out. It doesn't look like he's going to lead a lap this time because some guys were able to cross the start stripe before he got to the start line on track. One car's going to go ahead and get the wave around, but J-Mac, he's going to gain a point for leading away.
Gonna gain a point for leading the way, and Honeycutt, 3 laps down, makes his way around the track. So unfortunate for him, he was up in the front of the field when technology failed him once again. We'll see if he can't make it up here, but he would need several more cautions in order to get on that lead lap. Hopefully, we don't need that many cautions. I will say that, Pete.
Eliza, I'm kind of curious about J-Mac's strategy. Was he worried about too many cars on track to where going down pit road? Didn't want to get any damage there. Is he going to be coming in this time to grab it? Just wanted to stay out to lead. Kind of curious what J-Mac's thinking here.
Well, let's find out. Jordan, it's Eliza in the booth. How are you?
Hello. Hi. We're doing this just because why not? Try not to get crashed here. And, yeah, we're gonna try not to be a moving chicane. I don't think I abused him too badly that run, but, maybe we'll see if saving a set works, but it probably won't. But hey, you know what? we'll live a life of danger.
Get some more time on that beautiful car out there for sure. We've had a couple of fans for it. He's going to be on the outside, but man, good luck to you out here. Strategy and play and getting that bonus point for leading a lap. So a lot of luck to you out there.
Well, thank you. I'll try not to make an ass of myself.
All right. And there you heard it for Jordan McGraw in that 34 machine.
Oh, Eliza, that's where you got to give the bump, 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 bump.
He races for FTR. I've known him forever. You've seen us in the booth out here a couple of years prior, so a lot of fun. Great car for him. We'll see how he does. We've seen him in the Hornet's Nest tonight, so yeah. I think he's trying to get out of that too. Trying to make some moves up here in the front.
I absolutely hope that during all those moves that we saw him make some pretty aggressive moves, going way, way low, passing a couple cars and then bringing it back up. So maybe it didn't have to fight so hard. Maybe he was spending a whole lot of off throttle time, and now he's got the tires to be up here and compete. But he's among some very, very stout company.
Absolutely. He's usually one that saves really, really well at these tracks. I know he's going to tell me I don't, and, that he hasn't been able to save well recently, but we'll see what happens. I think he'll be okay.
So do I. It'll be interesting to see if he has any kind of wheel slip, though, coming up through the gears. I would imagine it'd be a second gear restart, but 11 down low after Jordan, as you said, decided to take the high side. 68 of Tom Harmon, number 1 of Brody Falliker, 43 of Matt O'Brien. That's your top 5. Green flag. Eliza coming to lap 58. Let's go.
Starting on that outside, Jordan McGraw's got a nice little gap, and they are 3 wide for second place. Harmon, Cocker, and Brody Falliker. Jimmy Cocker in the center of that as Jordan is going to try to get away and see if he can't do something with it. But man, chaos throughout the field. How about that?
Good to see Jordan McGraw have a great start. One thing by being the control car, you're always the first one on the loud pedal. You know, the person to the inside, to the outside, they can kind of gauge where you're gonna, get going again, but they don't know for sure. But here comes Brody Falker underneath the 34. Brody's gonna go ahead and take this lap from J-Mac and slide up right in front. Behind him, though, a little bit of a battle between the 68 and 11.
And Jordan McGraw, he's probably saying it was fun while it lasted, as he was out front leading right there. So we'll see how he does. But man, tire wear is definitely a little bit of a thing. He thinks he's saved enough. We'll see. But these drivers on those fresh tires, I think we're going to start seeing him lose a lot of spots here.
It's very possible, but if he can maintain, this could really work out for him in the long run, depending on just how battered and bruised those tires were before that caution flew. Right now, he's to the outside of the 51 of Andrew Wisdom. The 11 fell back just a little bit, coming into the clutches of the double deuce for Austin Mitty. And how about Brian Pizzicemi? He's working his way through the field also.
Brody Fallick starting to get away from the field here, and Thomas Harmon, I saw a little bit of contact between him and Micah, and huge chaos going on, and that's going to involve the 22 of Austin Mitty. Just got clipped by a car, and you can just see cars flying everywhere. That is going to bring out yet our fourth caution of the night.
Well, this could have just worked out very, very well for Jordan. We'll have to see. I mean, it's only been a few laps, but I would imagine most are going to go ahead and stay out. And if they have a long green flag run from here, J-Mac could be sitting kind of pretty.
It's like Philip Bridgman involved once again. We're going to find out what happened with this. Let's go back and see if we can't get on board with him, as it looks like a little bit of clipping going on. And welcome to take a look at that. He dives it down low, does a great job of missing. I thought he was involved, but no, he does a fantastic job of missing that. So great job for Philip on that and that 9 machine.
Yeah, Philip Bridgman way in the back, able to, he saw the smoke, pull it to the left, able to avoid everything, and then 9 moves on.
All right, so are we going to see Jordan McGraw go in and the rest of these guys stay out? How's this going to play out, you think, Pete?
Yeah, I would imagine Jordan McGraw definitely going to come on down. He said he was kind of doing it just to try something different. He got that point for leading a lap. The one of Brody Falker was able to take that spot on track when they got back under green. But I would imagine that most would go ahead and stay out. But yeah, here comes J-Mac down pit road.
Yeah, J-Mac, and he's got Jimmy Cocker directly behind him. Tom Flitcroft goes in. Jeff Byers, Palmer, Delator, Sanford, Hamilton, Burgess, Cardwell. Some of these drivers involved in that wreck. I mean, quite a few, honestly. We say it's not the big one, but it's the mid one. Brody Fallick are going to lead us back to green. He stays out, and I was talking about Harmon and Micah. I heard that while I was gone last week on vacation, those two got involved, and Thomas Harmon got wrecked, perhaps. So it'll be interesting to see these two side by side, and it looked like they made some contact right before that caution came out.
Yeah, Tom Harmon and Micah got together just a little bit, and well, I think the 61 actually self-spun very early in the race, and then later on there was just nowhere for Harmon to go. Got collected up by the wall, but very, very strong field up front right now, Eliza. You look at the top 5, Falliker up front every week. Micah Allard, same thing. Tom Harmon leading the points right now. Andrew Wisdom, 6 wins on a season. Matt O'Brien won last week, sitting second in points. This top 5 is very, very strong. I think the win's going to come out of this one, Eliza. But we'll have to see which one it is.
Got Brody Falliker on board here. It's Eliza. How you doing out there?
I'm doing great.
We've seen you lead quite a few laps. You are just battling constantly for position and for the lead. How's your car doing tonight, and do you think you might bring home that dub?
Yeah, I mean, there's a good possibility that I will. We've had kind of a rough string of races. So it's good to be back up here. I feel like the car is well rounded, and I think this is a good opportunity for us to finally get that first win of the season.
All right. Well, you're looking strong out there. I'm wishing you a ton of luck to try to get that win. We know it's happening. It's going to come sooner or later.
Yep.
Let's hope tonight's the night.
Thank y'all.
All right.
It's got to
you
be
heard it.
all about race management for him, Eliza. If he gets out
Yes.
front, don't run away. All you got to do is keep the field behind you. Don't abuse your tires. Just run your line. Maybe try to dump a little bit of dirty air on the guy behind you. But most of all, race management, race management, race management.
We make it sound so easy, right? No big deal. It's so easy, right? It's Michigan. It's so easy to get everyone close together. You're going to battle for position constantly. There's going to be some frustrated drivers out there simply because it's so hard to keep that position. And once you lose some, when you get that line going by you, it's so heartbreaking just to see that line go by. And then you got to fight to make it back up and save your tires and have that winning strategy.
Well, we'll see if the 61 Micah Allard has anything for the one. You got the 68 of Tom Harmon, Andrew Wisdom, Matt O'Brien, your top 5. Pizzakemi, Book, Maggio, Allen, and Cunningham to make out the top 10. Green flag's back out. One's hard on the throttle. Let's go.
Huge stack up on that low side. Take a look, starting with Harmon. Brody Falliker leading the field, but Harmon leading that stack up. He's got O'Brien behind him. Looks like Brendan Book and Luke Allen on that low side. Micah on the outside, along with Wisdom. So these guys are off and running. I want to see it go green now, Pete. I want to see what these guys have strategy-wise. They're going to have to do probably almost 40 laps on these tires. We'll see how it goes for him.
Yeah, when we were talking about Jordan McGraw earlier, everybody in front of him came down on lap 55. A few came down with him on lap 61, so he's got 6 laps fresher tires. If he can control his vehicle over these next several and then just let those tires come in, don't abuse them, he might have something for him a little bit later on. We'll have to see, but right now Jordan McGraw sitting P11 after starting 11th on the evening. He's right where he was earlier, so it's kind of a brand new race for him, and he just looks at old tires in front of him.
Absolutely. I mean, great place for him to be in, as you said. So we'll see how he maneuvers up there. But I'll tell you what, Micah sitting P2. He is a man on a mission, trying to make his way up into that lead. Meanwhile, for P4, it was almost 3 wide as they have Brendan Book directly ahead of him.
Yeah, Brendan Book up on the high side. You got the 43, giving him a shove into 1 and 2. Caution's gonna fly. Caution 5 on the evening.
Man, the caution's starting to stack up, and it looks like Jeff Byers perhaps involved as these guys trying to make their way. I don't see anything by Jeff Byers. He looks to be pretty solid.
John Honeycutt hard up into the outside wall.
Yeah. See if we can go on board with him. Not a good night for him, unfortunately. Let's get a replay and see if we... Oh, yeah, I don't even know what happened with that. Let's rewind that a bit and see if we can find out.
Looks like maybe him and the 8 of Tom Flickroff kind of got together just a tad and put the 50 up in the wall, ends up losing the clip, and the 8 was able to roll on.
8 rolls on. Matt Burgess, unfortunately, involved in that one. You know he's not happy. I feel like Matt Burgess, he went through a string of races where he was involved with everything. So, tough race, tough break for him. Tough break for Honeycutt, too. Fireball Hamlin, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. He says, oh, hey, Maddie.
Yep, Maddie Joy fan. Say hello, Fireball. It's always nice when you pop into a stream and right off the bat there's other people there that you know or they know you, and they greet you and you don't even know that they're in there.
Right? It's so fun to see people that you know. You gotta love it. Brody Falliker once again in the lead. You heard him. He was confident in his ability to get a win tonight. We'll see how that plays out. He's been so close so many times. I think tonight could be the night, and I hate to say it because you know the booth curse is real. So we'll see. We won't play into that too much.
You stream long enough, it absolutely gets spoken into existence. But yeah, Brody Falliker up 22 spots to lead the Shake and Bake iRacing Cup Series race tonight here from Michigan, presented by WoodyxCA over on Twitch. Ladies and gents, if you haven't already, you're not going to want to miss too much here, but at some point after this race or before the next race, whatever, go on over to WoodyxCA on Twitch. Give the man a follow. He does a bunch with iRacing and Call of Duty, and I believe maybe a little bit of Heat if those servers are still up. Not quite sure. It seems like they keep going up and down. So go on over again, WoodyxCA on Twitch. Give the man a follow. Tell him we said hey, and then come on back.
Absolutely. All right, Pete, 23 laps to go, and I see you guys out there. You guys are so sweet. Maddie says we raced another league together, and you guys are commenting on the commentary. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. You guys are awesome. Let us know, who do you think is going to win tonight? Will it be Brody Falliker? Will he finally get his first win of the season? Or will it be Micah behind him? Brendan Book, Thomas Harmon. I mean, we have so many drivers that are very much in the running. And if you want to be brave and say who's going to win the championship next week, tell us that too.
Yeah, I will be watching from Bergen County, New Jersey. I'll be on my way up to camp with the family for 2 weeks. So I'm going to miss Homestead live in the booth with you. But I will be out there watching on my phone or tablet, or maybe I'll get the whole family around one of their smart TVs and we'll all root it on right from the living room couch.
There you go. We're going to miss you next week, Pete. I was gone last week. You're gone next week. So, yeah. This will be the last time that we're in the booth together this season. But next race, I will be having Kerblam King join me in the booth. It'll be his first time, so you guys show him some love next week. Tony Savoy. So it'll be fun to do that. And we'll have some fun out here, and we'll be missing you, Pete, for sure.
I mean, Homestead has always been one of your favorites. So way to, gonna wrap up season number 3. The 68's got a great run at the championship. If you could hold on to it, we'll have to see how that all plays out. 22 coming to 21 laps remaining here from Michigan. Again, I mean, Homestead Miami Speedway is a great track. A lot of fun. A couple of different angles to come off of the corners. It's very, very slick at times. Have to see how it all plays out. I'll definitely be tuning in.
Absolutely. You see Kerblam King out there. He says, hello. That'll be me. Indeed it will. And Maddie says, we'll miss you, Pete. Thank you for the commentary this season, sir.
Very,
Absolutely.
very welcome, Maddie.
All right, 22 laps to go. A lot of racing left, as Racer Rex says. But is it enough if you're in midfield to get up to the front? We're going to find out. We're going to see some aggressive driving. I don't think that this will be the final caution of the night. That aggression is getting up, and Brody Falliker getting on that throttle early as he leads the field with Brendan Book directly behind him.
Did you see who was P5 up on that high side? Talking about that 34 for Jordan McGraw. Again, some newer tires. They may come into play a little bit later on. The 5 of Brendan Book and the 61 of Micah Allard make a little bit of contact between some fenders. The 43 from Matt O'Brien. P3 up high, trying to charge back up through the field, going into 3 and 4.
Yeah, Matthew O'Brien has been a little quiet this race, but here he is once again in 3rd. Brendan Book in 4th. He actually is part-time in the season, decided he was going to come out tonight and race, doing a phenomenal job, and he's got Andrew Wisdom right behind him. Connor Cunningham, another one that is up here up front. He's currently sitting P8. He's got Luke Allen to his high side. A lot of drivers, you know these restarts get crazy, 2 and 3 wide. This one is no different.
Yeah, right now Connor Cunningham, he's just kind of falling back as the 37 gets a little loose. So far, we're staying green with 20 laps remaining. That 3 is just watching everybody go by on that high side.
What a save by Andrew Sanford. We've seen a lot of drivers just fishtail it out of the corner slideways. He does a fantastic job of trying to save that. Micah, he's going to be out in the lead. Brody Falliker directly behind. Give him a little push. He's going to go down to the inside. These guys side by side for the lead. Will Brody be able to get a nose out? Not just yet. Still side by side going through the corner. Micah secures it, and he's still keeping that lead.
Yeah, one tries to find a hole right behind him, but that is closed very, very fast by the 43 Kings machine. Talking about Matt O'Brien, last week's winner from a little bit. These guys are tightly behind each other. But yeah, National Super Speedway's winner, that 43 for Matt O'Brien. Eliza, I'm watching some fast laps by guys. I mean, Tom Harmon, he just hit a PB with a 39.92, and the fastest man in town, Jordan McGraw, goes Shake a Big Purple with a 39.71, bettering his previous lap was 75.
Yeah, these guys are on the move. They feel the pressure. They know they have to make some moves. A 3-car, Connor Cunningham, just so loose coming off that exit. You can see him just back and forth all over the wheel trying to save it. Does a great job. We're going to see a lot more of that as we have 18 to go. The final race, the penultimate race before we head to next week.
Oh, I tell you, I'm watching some of these guys, and they are just getting after it. I think you're right, Eliza. Elbows are up. They're out, taking whatever they can. It's no longer give and take. Right now, it is all take, as it looks like Micah Allard with a 39.80 last lap. His best is a 39.75, so you know that that energy is coming from that driver through his wheel. Micah just wants to stay up there. Now Luke Allen goes Shake a Big Purple with a 39.67, fastest lap of the race we've seen all night long.
Yeah, it just goes to show these guys, they know that they have to make it happen, and they have to do it soon. They know that they have to get out front and keep the cars behind them, but you have to still worry about those tires. 16 to go. We've seen a lot of drivers lose it on the exit, so they have to make sure that they can keep that car underneath them. And Micah, he is under attack by Matthew O'Brien. It's getting close here. You can see him going down that backstretch. These guys are flying, Pete.
Yeah, 61, I think he might have thought about trying to pinch that 43 low, but the 43 kept it right there in that middle groove. He didn't go all the way to the yellow, so they're going to come off the corner side by side. 61's going to be able to continue to lead this lap, but the 43 is all over his inner door as they touch a little bit going into one.
Yeah, a little bit of contact. O'Brien, you know he's sitting P2, 11 points behind Thomas Harmon. Harmon right now, he's sitting 6. That is going to create such a tight race. If this were to end right here, that battle for the championship would be absolutely insane. We'll see what happens, but O'Brien goes to the lead. He just won his first race last week. We'll see if he can get it tonight. So many drivers just wanting that win. It's so important to make it happen tonight.
I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, the 43 sent out a tweet last week after his win at Nashville, says that his season was completely in his hands. Well, right now, leading the way with Micah Allard underneath. He's got the 51. They're both getting sideways off the corner. Allard's going to go for a little bit of a ride through the infield, able to gather it back up 4 wide. Got the 1, the 7, and the 43 up on the wall.
Chaos going on through here, and we have 3 wide for second as Micah joins the track. We have Brody Falliker in the middle, and Luke Allen was on top. And I'll tell you what, that is absolutely crazy. Fireball Hamlin says, my money's on O'Brien here. Great to have your money on him. He's a fantastic driver, but man, oh man, these guys are making me nervous, Pete, as we have Wisdom to the lead.
Yeah, Andrew Wisdom. So that means all 3 of our top guys in points have now led a lap tonight. One of Brody Falliker looking underneath his teammate. 61 of Micah Allard. He's charging back up through. Momentum? What momentum? It's not broken. He's still right there. 43 now trying to take it low underneath the 61. They're going to be 3 wide for about P5.
Look at this
Oh, boy.
line. Just so many drivers so close to that wall. You can see them all over. I want to go on board with, let's go on board with Thomas Harmon, and we'll go in car with him and see how he's handling this. These guys are 3 wide. You know they have to be back and forth, just sawing at the wheel. Take a look at Micah as he fishtails through that corner. Just no room. Thomas Harmon gonna squeeze through between him and the wall. Just no give, a lot of take right here, and that causes some chaos.
Yeah, Micah Allard actually practiced that bottom line a lot in practice. Most guys were not going down there because once you get back on that throttle, it was getting very, very loose. And some of these cars, well, I don't want to say some of these cars. Sometimes this car, if it starts to snap, you cannot overcorrect because it will just put you up into that outside wall. It's gotten a lot better since this car was first introduced, but 51 now leading with the 7 right behind. Tom Harmon's going to make a little bit of wall contact with the 61 right behind. Still, the 1 and the 11, F5WB still very well represented inside the top 5.
Yeah, we saw Thomas Harmon not have a good finish in his race due to, I believe it was Micah that lost it, and there was just nowhere for him to go. So he is just hoping to stay out of trouble tonight. He's on the line for a championship, leads the points, but not by much. Anything counts here. If he loses any spot, it's just going to help O'Brien out. O'Brien is currently sitting P9. He's back here a little bit stuck in traffic. He's got an uphill battle to climb as we have 10 left to go.
10 left to go. Luke Allen, he's going to go ahead and reassume the lead. Andrew Wisdom and him made a little bit of door-to-door contact. Now it looks like Tom Harmon, he's going to try to go to the inside of the 51. 51's going to keep him pinched down, rubbing fenders just a tad. Brody Falker up to the outside, and he's got Jimmy Cocker right in his rear view. And then look at Pizzichemi up 19 spots to P6.
Yeah, how about that? Having a great race. You can see it from on board of Matthew O'Brien, and you got Brendan in that 5 machine down low, and he's going to bring it up high. He's going to have to let go a little bit so he doesn't make any contact. These guys are just so incredibly close. Is that Brian? Almost loses it. You can see him off screen, and he's making his way back on there. Turn 2, Pete, just seems to be disastrous coming off the exit. This is incredible.
Yeah, Pizzichemi able to make up a whole lot of room and then kind of loses it right there, but able to save it. Did not wreck the car. Good hands by Brian Pizzichemi. Hopefully he'll be able to charge his way back up through. Again, Luke Allen, Falliker now leading, sitting P2. Wisdom back to P3, Jimmy Cocker, and then Matt O'Brien back up inside the top 5. Tom Harmon losing some spots.
Yeah, we had a 3-wide battle. That was for P5 as we see another driver almost lose it off an exit of 2. Just, I don't even know what to think anymore, Pete. This is insane. My heart is racing. I'm on the edge of my seat. You guys, let me know how you feeling. We have Luke Allen out front leading. We have Brody Falliker in second, Andrew Wisdom in third. This could change at any moment. You can see the top 3 drivers incredibly close. Then you have Jimmy Cocker in the 11 machine. He is right back behind these guys. Anything can happen. 7 to go.
Absolutely. Matt O'Brien right now sitting at P number 5. He's got the points leader right in his rear view. That's where he wants to keep him. Although all 3 of our top guys in points have gone up there and led. The 43 and the 51 want to keep the 68 behind. That way they know they've got a better mathematical chance next week at Homestead Miami Speedway as the 51 gets up underneath the 1 of Brody Falliker, makes a little bit of door contact. They're side by side right behind the 7.
The battle never ends, and it will not end until they cross that finish line for the win. Luke Allen, he's looking to get his first win of the season. Brody Falliker, the same here. Andrew Wisdom, he's got so many wins, and he's sitting 3rd in points. Anything is up for grabs here. Every position matters. This is the final race before we crown a champion next week. This is it, guys. We're coming to 5 to go. Absolutely insane. Jay Kuhn says, Wisdom gonna do it.
Well, right now, Wisdom, he's got to be watching these teammates. But I would imagine right now FIWB is pretty busy with the chatter between teammates, as it looks like the 11 Oh, Jimmy Cochran, he's going to work his way down on the bottom behind the 51. Matt O'Brien in the 43 is going to take the high side around Jimmy Cochran. 11, ooh, wow. The 7 slides up right in front of the 51. Teammates nose to tail, first and second.
Yeah, Brody is in the lead currently, and second is about to go 3 wide with Luke Allen, Andrew Wisdom, and Jimmy Cocker. This battle is still very much heated up, and you see a little bit of contact between Cocker and Wisdom. So these guys still on the move, 4 to go, and it is not over yet. Fireball Hamlin says all systems go here. Racer Rex says gloves are off. Most certainly they are.
4 laps remaining, the 1 leading the way, the 7 right behind, the 11
Ooh.
and 51 continue to make just a little bit of contact. Got the 51's teammate, Matt O'Brien, second in points right with him going into turns 3 and 4. 1 completely guiding that thing within that second groove, not going low, not going too high, maintaining his tires, hoping that he'll have enough to fend off whichever guy comes up to P2. But right now he's got a 3-car advantage over the battle for P2.
Jimmy Cocker diving it down low, takes it 3 wide for P2, and he is trying to make that move up to P2. We'll see if he can't do it. Andrew Wisdom still has a nose out, but these guys, 3 laps to go. It is still anything possible once we hit that final lap. All bets are off. Anything can go as far as no cautions. We'll see. Can we hold it green for another couple of laps, Pete? It is going to be so tight.
Yeah, coming to 2 to go. 43 almost washes up a little bit, getting into the 7 of Luke Allen, but able to check up just enough. He lost his spot. He's going to fall into the clutches of the 11 of Jimmy Cocker. Jimmy Cocker going to go ahead and throw it low. 51 now clear of everybody. He's just got to try to do what he does best, and that is try to pull himself on up to that 1 white flag next time.
Next time, and Brody Falliker's leading the field, trying to get that first win. This will mean so much to him. His first win of the season, first win in SnB. Caution is out. No.
Green, white checker, Eliza. What do you do? Is your bed made?
Ah, man. Elbows are out now. Brody Falliker did not want to see this. He was that close right there. All he had to do was cross that line, and he would have been green all the way to the finish line for his first win if he could hold on to it. So I know he's frustrated. Let's take a look and see if we can't find out what happened.
Oh, no. Big implications. It's going to be for the 68. Gets involved as the 9 loses it, Eliza.
Wow, our championship battler out here first in points, and he is involved. You know he's not happy. Huge implications for him. Just nailed. Nowhere to go. Probably didn't even see it coming. So unfortunate for Thomas Harmon.
Oh. Boy, that he is just going to hemorrhage points tonight, especially. He led a lap, but so did the 43. The 51 also led. Definitely, the one of Brody Falliker did not want to see this, as you said. I think everybody stays out. You've got what you got, or if the 51 and company stay out, do the rest of them come in?
You can see the points here. Harmon going into this race, 463, leading 11 points over Matthew O'Brien, who sits second in points. Wisdom in third, Jimmy Cocker in fourth, and Brody Falliker in fifth. And devastating for Thomas Harmon in that tonight.
Eliza, with this, we've got a brand new race for the championship next week. God, I wish I was going to be there.
I know. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be so crazy. I was picking out the trophy tonight. I've had a couple of options, so it's definitely here. It's becoming real for these drivers that next week, one of them will be champion of season 3, and it very well could be a new driver. Wisdom, he had won the IndyCar series that we did out here on iRacing, and he won last season. So I know he is looking for a win here tonight. He's currently sits P3, and he's also third in points. Man, wild race, wild implications.
Talk about wild race and implications. How about this? The deuce of Jarrett Cardwell. He's going to go ahead and stay out with the 39 of Jacob Palmer right there with him. I think Jacob Palmer Jacob Palmer did not come in. So both of those guys, the last time they were down pit road was lap 67. Everybody else in on 90. So old JCX is one of the guys out there talking about the F1 races on right here on this channel with you. Should be a well-known name. He's now leading here the Shake and Bake iRacing Cup Series presented by WoodyxCA over on Twitch. Good job by JC.
How about that? Yeah, Polish in. Give me a Jarrett Caldwell win. I would absolutely go wild. He's out there in the F1 series on Wednesday nights. You'll see him out there hopefully this week as long as he is available to race, but doing a great job. He was newer to the series, and he's definitely made his presence known. Involved in an earlier wreck tonight. That hasn't stopped him from making his way up here.
Not at all. And as I kind of look around his car, that number 2 Mustang's looking pretty sporty. So he's going to go ahead and lead a lap. And I tell you what, when Jared Cardwell joined Shake and Bake, I mean, his first race, he finished P4. I think his next race finished P9. So it's not like he's a surprise inside the top 10. I think it was just a surprise on how well he really hit the ground running.
Oh, absolutely. I do believe his first 3 races were all in the top 10.
Yep.
So great job to him. And I do believe he's also very new to iRacing. So, yeah, great job to him. He's out here leading the field. Palmer on the outside. We're going to see how these guys do, though. I should say Palmer on the inside. But we'll see how these guys do on a little bit older tires. 3 to go. His elbows are out. I mean, it is all on the line right here. I'm hoping for no more caution. Brody Falliker, though. We saw him leading the field as we went under caution. He sits P9. I'm heartbroken for him, Pete.
On the bottom side,
Green
third
flag.
back, talking about the 34. We're going green. Let's go.
Going green in a huge stack up on the high side and the low side as these guys scramble to make up any part of the track that they can. 3 wide for P4. Couple of drivers falling back. 4 wide, and that's about for P5. We have Brody Falliker, Jordan McGraw, Jimmy Cochran, another driver, and some contact. And I can already hear drivers wrecking. That's going to bring out another caution, Pete.
Yeah, it looks like Jacob Palmer and a couple others got very much involved in that. Jarrett Cardwell able to continue to lead, so we're going to go to green-white checker attempt number 2. Brendan Book in the 5 also involved in that, so many with new damage. Ooh.
Yeah, Palmer into the wall, makes contact with the 5 car, Brendan Book, and some chaos going around at the same time right behind him. So, yeah, we knew that the final restart here was going to be crazy. I'm not surprised, Pete. I mean, like I said, elbows are out. Everyone is going for a position. Jarrett Cardwell in first, Matthew O'Brien in second, Steven in third, Andrew Wisdom in fourth, Luke Allen fifth, Jimmy Cochran sixth, Brody Falliker seventh, Jordan McGraw eighth, Micah in ninth, and Francis Hamilton is going to round out your top 10.
Absolutely. Connor Cunningham in that 3 is going to sit 11th. Pizzakemi in 12th, up 13 spots. Kevin Dallatore with Austin Mitty. Andrew Sanford's going to sit P15 with Philip Bridgman, Dylan C. Robb, Jeff Byers, Tom Flickroft, and Brendan Book. Most notably, Eliza, way in the back. Very unfortunately, Tom Harmon, our points leader coming into the race this evening, sitting 23rd.
You know, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a lot of great things to say right now. A very frustrated Thomas Harmon, championship on the line, and that very well could have crushed it here tonight.
Yeah, the 51 came into this race not feeling well, saying there was no way that he was going to be able to make up 19 points out there in the land of X or Twitter earlier today. And the 43 felt very good about his win last week at Nashville Super Speedway. Right now, he is sitting first as far as new tires go, with the two of Jarrett Cardwell still leading the way. Jarrett has to be completely ecstatic about this caution. He might want one more to get to that green-white checker max, but we'll have to see how this plays out. Cautions breed cautions, baby, as I see out there.
They certainly do. Our 7th caution of the night, a few more than what I was expecting. You know that ovals, especially ones like Michigan, the tight racing, it will bring out those cautions, and especially towards the end of the race, aggression is up, and these guys are fighting for everything, especially with the championship next week. It's going to be chaos. It's going to be chaos for the final couple of laps, Pete.
Eliza, I might have to have my brother-in-law put a computer together for me, and I'll sign in from his house, and I'll just like sit quietly there in the window. I'll see if I can get a pit reporter kind of thing going on. But man, I cannot wait to watch and listen to the broadcast that you and Kablam King put together. It's going to be a phenomenal season finale. Cannot wait.
Polish says, if Jarrett Caldwell wins this race, I'll come back and race Abu Dhabi this week. All right, bet. We'll see what happens, but I'll tell you what, I did not have Thomas Harmon getting wrecked on the bingo card tonight.
Nope. Put the dauber away. All right, lights top. The pace truck are out, Eliza. They're in turns 1 and 2. Jarrett Cardwell is a control car up on the high side in that 2. The 43 of Matt O'Brien sitting P2. Steven Maggio, after a great win last week, right now sitting P3 with Andrew Wisdom, Jimmy Cocker P5, Luke Allen, Jordan McGraw, Brody Falliker sitting 8th with Francis Hamilton and Micah Allard to round out the top 10. They're in the middle of the backstretch, Eliza. What do you think? Final green-white checker and we go from here? Or do you call another one?
I hope that's it. I hope these guys can race it out and bring it home on a strong note. Jarrett Cardwell, I'm nervous for him. He's got 28 lap old tires. These guys have fresher tires. Man, you see how the older tires just get chewed up on the restarts. So we'll see how he does, but these guys are aggressive out here. They are not holding back one bit.
No, not at all. I mean, it was all take from about lap 24. So coming to the final, I believe it's the final green-white checker attempt. We're gonna go back green. 43's got the 19 right behind. Here we go.
Huge checkup once again on that high side. Jimmy Cocker falls back a little bit, but Jarrett Cardwell secured in that lead for now. And we have a couple of guys going in and out. That 19, Steven, back in and out of losing his spot in the track, but these guys are off and running, and Brody Falliker loses it, goes back into the field. Another caution. Brody Falliker loses out on his shot at a win tonight. This is crazy, you guys.
I gotta stop I gotta stop picking him. I really hope I am not jinxing him, but yeah, Brody Falliker and Philip Bridgman, as well as a few others involved in this one. It just looks like he gets loose, Eliza, and after he tries to correct it, it just absolutely snapped to the right. Nothing that you can do about it when these cars do that. Several involved behind them.
I'm gonna go on a different view, try to see if I can find out. Yeah, if he just got looser. Yeah, he just got loose and lost. I didn't know if he had a little bit of contact with anyone, but man, I am heartbroken for so many drivers tonight. Just brutal, very brutal.
Hard shot by the one. I know a lot of these guys run the direct drives and some others that have a lot of force feedback. Sometimes you snap like that and it goes straight to the wall. I've heard some people kind of damaging or their wrists a little sore after some shots like that. Obviously they're not hurt in real life as far as hitting the wall at 190 mile an hour, but some of these wheels are very strong. I've even heard John Honeycutt saying that he doesn't like it when people wreck him during practice where he's not prepared for it, because if he's holding onto that wheel loosely, it could sprain a thumb, it could sprain a wrist. It could be pretty bad for some of these guys sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I've heard the same, and it is very strong. I can tell you just on my G920. The first time I got hit and got wrecked, I thought I broke my wrist. It was kind of funny, but it's like, wow, that actually really hurt. So I get it for these guys, but I do believe this will be the final caution that is allowed tonight. So we'll see what happens with it. And Cookie Mon says it still hurts. Absolutely it does. And you guys are right, the Wendy's car is man, struggling tonight, wrecked. Yeah, it's brutal. Absolutely brutal.
So we saw the deuce of Jarrett Cardwell really get away in 1 and 2, and then the 51 up on the high side. He was able to gain up just a little bit. He was pushing the 2 down the backstretch. So it seems like the exit of 2 and 3, you would. I'm sorry, you exit 1 and 2 rather. The 51 was pretty strong up by that wall. Now he's going to have his teammate to his inside. Matt O'Brien, he wants to go back to back after winning last week in Nashville. The 51, he wants to get his 7th win of the season. Do these guys get battling? Is the 51 paying attention to the bigger picture and going to cut the 43 a little bit of slack so we can close up that points gap just a little bit more if it's not already, since what happened to Tom Harmon? This is going to be very, very interesting to see how this plays out.
Absolutely. Our second and third sitting position right now is third and second in points. So it is on, a teammate or not. I mean, these guys are going for their individual points. We have a championship on the line. And with Harmon, who is basically out of this race, it's between these two right now. And Wisdom, he's got quite the point deficit. So O'Brien is sitting pretty currently. We'll see how it ends. Anything can happen in this race. With only 3 to go, coming up to 2, so much can still happen. And you guys talking about Wendy's, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of beef that I'm sure is being thrown at these cars between each other right now. There's a lot of beef.
I tell you, it'll be interesting to see if we can keep it green the rest of this race. I don't know if I see it as aggressive as some were being off of turn number 2, really pounding that wall, some getting back in the throttle before they normally would. There is no more give. It is all take. I've said it before, and I, at the risk of repeating myself, it really is.
Oh, man. This is crazy. I did not expect, as I said, this many cautions, but it is Michigan. It's fast, it's tight. These guys are aggressive, and it's the penultimate race. So here we are. Coming up to 2 to go. The beef is being thrown. I can only imagine chat for these drivers and contact, but Cardwell, he's looking for his first win. So many drivers looking for their first win. Steven, sitting in third, has no win this season as he joined late along with Cardwell. Let's see what they can do.
Absolutely. Pace truck is off. 51 underneath the deuce. 19 going to try to shove Jarrett Cardwell. He's got the 11 and Jimmy Cocker up there as well. 2 gets a great launch. 51 for the most part able to stay there. 19th up on the high side. I don't think he'll be clear. 2's up high. I don't think he can come on down, but he's going to try to force it. He's going to cut the nose of the 51. Just has to get it a little bit lower. 2 cannot hold it down. Gets a little tight, washes up. Everybody's going to fly by.
Yeah, they fly by. He loses so many spots there. Andrew Wisdom goes to the lead, and he's got, I think, 6 wins this season. 2 to go, and we have a couple of drivers off the track making their way back on, and Steven, who is just lagging in and out. I'm sure that's making these drivers nervous, and he's got Luke Allen right below, and we have 3 wide. Steven loses it. Caution out once again.
Yeah,
Final lap that just missed it.
I believe the 7 and the 19 kind of got together a little bit, and the pace truck is going to collect the 51 and Andrew Wisdom. Andrew Wisdom is going to come on by and collect his lucky number 7th win on the season. So the guy that wasn't feeling too well this morning, and the guy who's saying there's no way he was going to close in on the points, gets it done at Michigan.
How about that? We end it under caution, unfortunately, but Wisdom, man, oh man, number 7, lucky number 7 here. Crazy. Well, we're going to make sure that this is over, but Pete, I'm pretty sure that was it right there.
John Marine says play all night long, because that's how long this race is going to last. I tell you, these guys are absolutely getting after it, and something tells me if this was their second race of the season, you might be willing to give just a little bit more. But hey, next week is it. It is the season 3 finale. We definitely have a chance at crowning a new champ if the 43 can get on up there. Looks like he's going to finish P3, but the 51, Michigan belongs to him tonight.
Let's get these guys into the booth here. So close. Wisdom winning the night. Luke Allen in second and Matthew O'Brien in third. So it's going to be quite the battle next week. I know it's not the way some of these drivers wanted it to end, but man, oh man. How about Luke Allen getting in second tonight? Great job for him.
Absolutely. Luke really showing a lot of strength all night long. Led some laps right about the beginning to midway part of the race. So that 7 Mountain Dew machine, very, very strong around the Irish Hills of Michigan.
All right, Wisdom. You've had a heck of a season. You get another win here tonight. How was your race? Take us through. We've had a lot of cautions, a lot of chaos. How'd yours go?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. We kind of tried saving a lot more tire at the beginning of the race just because of how loose it was. It's probably definitely like one of the looser, if not the loosest, Michigan setups I think I've seen or driven. So I think like I don't know, just the tires were going to be key at the beginning, but then we kind of just got to a point with the way the cautions were timing out at the end of like, trying to find the balance between like how much tire you actually needed and trying to keep the track position and actually going. Yeah, I don't know. Like before we had that first green white checkered, or maybe we had a caution with like 4 or 3 to go. I can't remember. Like kind of right there at the end. Like I was a little bummed because I thought I was in basically position to win there potentially. I think when Brody was leading, I felt like I had a really good shot at it, and not a whole lot of a lot of cars behind because of the way that it's spaced out with people getting held up in traffic and different things. But yeah, honestly just got super lucky on all the restarts there at the end on the green white checkers. Did what we needed to do to try to put ourselves in position, and yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel bad about the 19. I'm not sure if it was like on my screen. It looked like there was some lag in 3 and 4. I don't know if I came down the track or if he fully came up the track. Hopefully I didn't go down or anything, but and not exactly how you want to win one with contact involved anyway, lag or not. But just put ourselves in position. Had some luck there, and I think actually might be in a pretty decent position for next week.
Speaking of next week and being in a good position, your teammate finishing third tonight, Harmon, so unfortunate with what happened to him. How do you feel about your chances for next week?
Yeah, we'll definitely see how it plays out with the point situation. I'm not sure exactly what the gaps are going to be. If it ends up kind of being where everybody is within like 3 or 4 points or something, and it's kind of a winner take all thing, it should be pretty interesting. I feel like you couldn't really ask for much more than an even shot at it after everything that everyone's kind of gone through this season. I know, me and Matt and Tom, all three, have had some races that we'd like to have back, or got caught up in someone else's mess or made a mistake. In my case, at Rockingham especially. Definitely after making some dumb mistakes, you don't feel like you probably should be in this position. But yeah, I think I think if we all end up having kind of an even shot next week, it should make it really interesting. And I think it's kind of funny that we don't have playoffs, but it may sort of come down to one race anyway. But yeah, Homestead's not one of my strong tracks, but I felt like I learned a little bit the last time we raced there, so hopefully some of that knowledge will carry over and we can apply it and try to win the race.
All right, well, lucky number 7 happened tonight. Hopefully that'll bring you some luck into next week, but huge congratulations to you on the win here at Michigan.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, repeat. We have Luke Allen in the booth. How about that? Let's give him an interview.
Absolutely, Luke Allen. It is Pete. I tell you, one hell of a racer. You've definitely been applying the pressure, every single week in that Mountain Dew scheme. There's definitely been a noted increase in your finishing orders. You're getting stronger and stronger. You're not getting collected up by some of the things that may happen a little bit further in the back. definitely a very marked improvement in your in your driving, in your skill, in your speed since you joined Shake and Bake. Please, talk us through your race and what you're thinking of this runner-up finish, sir.
Yeah, I felt awful in practice, so I'm kind of shocked I was even in a position to win there. But yeah, I qualified well, which I think has been a key part of me running better. I was just avoiding stuff in the back and then like trying to push too hard to make it up, and then I make a mistake there too. But yeah, I led a few laps at the beginning. I was kind of surprised by that too. But then I paid the price on the tires there. So then I figured out what I needed to do to save the tires, and I was in the top 10 for most of that run. And I feel really bad for Brody because he had that one. He was like half a straight away from winning that race before that caution came out. But yeah, we got a chance. I put 4 on. A bunch of people took 2. Some people stayed out. And I didn't think I was gonna get there. But then we had 3 green white checkers. So I had a chance. I really wish we could have kept that green because I think I probably could have won because Wisdom was on 2 and I was on 4. But yeah, I do think that thing with Steven was my fault. I think I kind of slid up into him. I don't get a chance to win very much, so I'm gonna go for it and just slid a little too high up into him. So I apologize for that. But yeah, good race. I think it's my best finish in the league. So I hate to say that I'm kind of upset with the finish, but a little bit.
Well, you can only get one spot better, and you got a chance next week at Homestead Miami Speedway. Is that a track that you prefer, or you think you might be burning a little bit of the midnight oil to get ready for what could possibly be your first win of the season?
I do definitely think it's one of my better tracks. I won an NIS race there, so I feel pretty good about it. But then I felt terrible about this and did well. So who knows what's gonna happen? Just try to qualify good and stay at the front and hope for the best.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations on your first P2 of season number 3 here in Shake and Bake. Well, I won't see you next week, so good luck, and we'll see you again next season.
Thanks, sir.
You got it. All right, Eliza, Matt O'Brien, P3, continues to run strong. He's with you.
Yeah, he's so strong in the point standings, been so strong once again this season. Matthew, take us through your race and how you finished podium tonight.
Yeah, eventful. Started the race, I was just saving tires, and everyone was just going ballistic on them. And then like that longest run, I mean, me and Andrew were just like so gripped up. It was honestly ridiculous. But then cautions came out. It's like, okay, gotta run harder. Obviously, everyone was probably like super loose, right? And I did something on one of the pit stops to make it tighter. It definitely helped with making it tighter, but might have made it a little too tight. But felt really good at the start of the green white checkers, and then just it's like Kansas again, just bad timing and cautions. Yeah, if a caution comes out, half a second later or something, or earlier or something, maybe things are different. But or if we could avoid wrecking on green white checkers all the time. But yeah, I mean P3, unfortunate for Harmon. And then Andrew winning closes the gap. We'll have to wait for the points to come out, but it might be winner take all next week between me and Andrew. So we'll see how it goes.
See how it goes. How do you feel about Homestead and your chances if it comes down to that?
Feel a little good.
All right. It's going to be a close battle. Teammates going to be out here battling for it, and we'll see how the points look as far as what happened to Harmon. But man, oh man, a wild race tonight. A lot more cautions than I was expecting, but it is Michigan. It's tight. It's chaotic. Pete, we're going to be missing you next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna be missing it too, and I tell you those points. If I'm not wrong, I mean I think the points are gonna be within like a 10-point spread between the top 3. I cannot wait till they're actually made official and everybody can see exactly where they stand But congratulations to Luke Allen, first ever runner-up finish here in Shake and Bake season number 3. Next week, I will be up away camping with the family up in New York State. I'm going to try my best to make sure that I can tune in to watch and listen to you and Kerblam King call the Season 3 championship live from Homestead Miami Speedway. It's been a great Season 3, Eliza, sharing the booth with you, and I'm looking forward to many, many more.
See you guys next week. Next week, we'll crown a champion. All right, take it easy, guys. Have a great night.